Hi everybody, it's Catalina and today I'm going to make some oxtail soup. And this is a soup I absolutely love because it's very nutritious. It's full of collagen, full of gelatin and amino acids, and it's absolutely delicious as well. So oxtail is basically just the cow's tail, and it's one of those parts like beef liver that a lot of people don't really like. They feel a bit weird about eating it. Here in Colombia it is very popular and it's used in a lot of dishes, and I actually didn't like them. I grew up with my mom making it and I didn't want to eat it. I thought it was weird, and it's crazy because it's just so good for you. And when I make this soup now, I just love letting it, basically when it's cool, it's nice for me to see how it becomes just like a hard gelatin, and that's what shows me that it's so full of nutrients. So it's something very easy to make, and it's also very cost effective. So you want to have some protein in your diet, but it's a very inexpensive part to buy at the butcher because these are parts that a lot of people don't like. So it's a great alternative for a big family or a big meal. Usually when I make a soup with it, I make a huge amount of it and it lasts for about 4 dinners. I like making this recipe in a stock pot, and a lot of people here make it in a pressure cooker, but definitely making it in a stock pot is going to give you much better taste. And it's a dish that basically I like to do like on a Sunday when I'm going to be in the house, because I like to let it simmer for about 4 hours very slowly and very low heat. And in the stock pot it just works very well because you don't get a lot of evaporation from the pot, and you end up with a really tasty, rich, delicious soup. So I'm going to get started with the recipe and I hope you enjoy it. This is how I buy the oxtail. Basically this is one entire tail, and the butcher chops it into these smaller pieces which are easier to handle. And then I'm going to be using the equivalent to 2 medium-sized onions, or you can use leeks like I have here. I'm going to chop them very finely and I'm going to place them in the stock pot with some butter, and I'm going to saute the onions or leeks here for about a couple of minutes, and then I'm going to place the pieces of the tail in there, and I just want to get them a little bit brown on the outside. And once that's done, I'm going to be adding water. The amount of water really depends on the size of the stock pot you're using and also on the amount of tail you have in there, but basically what you want is to have the meat submerged underwater the whole time. I'm adding here some sea salt, a lot of black pepper. I'm also going to be adding some bay leaves, a couple of sprigs of fresh rosemary, and also a little teaspoon of paprika, which gives it a nice flavor and a lovely color, and have a little teaspoon of cayenne pepper. And basically just play around with the spices you want. And then after this I'm just going to cover the soup, and I'm going to let it come to a boil. And once it reaches a boil, I'm going to turn the heat down and I'm going to let it simmer for about 4 hours, and that's just going to cook there very slowly, very gently, and it's going to smell amazing in the house. And then about 20 minutes before the broth is ready, and basically you want to be trying it with a fork until it's tender. Before that I'm going to be adding some yam and some carrots. I'm going to be using a medium-sized yam, and I'm going to chop it into little sticks, and also I'm going to be adding some fresh carrots here into little slices, and I'm going to add them there. And then that's it. Basically 15-20 minutes later, after adding these two things, the soup is ready, and this is how it looks. It's a very simple recipe. It takes a long time to make, but in reality it's very little what you have to do with it. So because basically the soup is just simmering in the back all day, and that's how you make this oxtail soup. Well, I hope you enjoy this recipe. If you make it at home, please let me know what you think about it, and also let me know if you have tried oxtail and in which way you like to eat it. And thanks for watching. Bye.